So on those barbershop cup ciphers, there's two of them. First one's with, I guess, just people from Denver. And then the second one has people from the show, like Inglewood IV's on there, Sax is on there. You go last, and you fucking killed it. The first one was really good.
No moves, I just hear these rappers talking loud. They don't want no beef cause I'm a slaughterhouse. I got more dumb 16s than all these kids dropping out. Hey, yo, bitch look like a waitress at a Waffle House. I'm trying to make time, they trying to take mine. Well, you gon' see a leg pop from a tray 5. Isolated myself, became mellow on the baseline. Now I hear them whining through the grapevine. I'm the best in the city, and they all hate it. It's kind of funny that they left me out the conversation. I'm narcissistic and pessimistic, it's complicated. It got me looking in the mirror like the cops is chasing. And this 40 still good like Sanaa Lathan. I'm putting dope in my city, I feel like Ronald Reagan. That blue check, get your bitch fucked. I don't discriminate, keep your bitch tucked. I'm with it.
But the second one was super strong. Like,
you like the second one better?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people like the first one.
Oh, I love the second one.
I kept working in the bag came. Grew up with the roaches like an ashtray. Jesus turned water into wine, but watch him turn my pain into champagne. Her dad hate me, his daughter wanted my last name. And if I'm trying to give her back pain, you think I give a fuck what her dad say? This isn't luck, how you playing with them birds, but your bitch look like a duck, just asking. Since I came up, they stopped laughing. The way the white boy ballin', you think you watching the Mavericks snapping. I came up cause this passion. Say you want a battle, do you want a closed casket? These rappers pussy, I can tell that they fertile. With the cash, I'm more stingy than Virgil. You can't step in this circle. If you step to my girl, she gon' curve you. Then my bitch give me the tea while we sippin' on herbal. You can't understand, my brother run a block like a big man. And I've been waiting for my shot like the 6th man. And God holding me up, he like my kickstand. They try to knock me and I still stand. This is not the shit that make the kids dance. This is for the kids that ain't got shit, man. White boy ain't got rhythm, but I bet I'll make my wrist dance. Bitch.
That's not like, I don't know why those aren't on Spotify or like in some kind of like version. Like I've watched the YouTube video. So when those come out, like how do you decide the order? Like is it just random, or do you know that you're stronger than the rest, or you're gonna go last, or like how's that going?
Honestly, like with the first one, I just got in there and just started rapping. So that's why I went second. I just wanted to rap, and yeah, so I just was ready. Everybody else was still writing their verse. On the last one, I got to the studio last. So everybody had recorded their stuff already. So I just went. I don't know if it was planned out like that, but that's how it came out to be.
I like the second one as a whole better, but I don't know any Denver people, obviously. And then, it's cool to see Saxon and Inglewood on there. But I really thought your verse on the second one was just top notch.
Oh, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, those are both hard. Yeah, I definitely went crazy.
I heard you say in one of the interviews that you ran into T.I. at a party once and he recognized you.
Yeah, I did. It was literally like the weekend after I got eliminated from the show, and the Super Bowl was in Atlanta. I was down in Atlanta. We was at a party. He was there, and he like just pointed at me from across the room, came up to me. We chopped it up. He's a real down to earth guy. I fuck with him for real. He gave me some game, and I appreciate it.
I like T.I. I was listening to him back from Rubber Band Man days.
That's one of my favorite rappers ever, man. I grew up listening to him.
Prior to the show, were you making money from music?
No. No, we was just grinding. I probably didn't see any money from music before the show. So
you had a regular job, I would assume, right before the show starts. Did you have to quit the job to go to the show, or you take a vacation, or they let you go, or how's that work?
I quit, and then I got eliminated. I was going to win $250,000, and the show wasn't aired, so they took me back. I appreciate it. Yeah, I went back to work.
Is that weird working at the job, knowing the show's gonna come out and then you kind of blow up, or were you just like waiting?
Yeah, I was just waiting. I still work a job right now, honestly. Like with COVID, it's
had to screw you up on the touring, right? That just ruins your touring, right? Hit the terrible time hit for you, right?
Exactly. So yeah, had to get back to work. Still got bills to pay.
So that's another question I had. Like Sam has flooded music out there during the pandemic, right? Like he has a quarantine album, or essentially, and you haven't really released a lot since this hit. Like you've 2 or 3 singles come out here or there, but is that by design? Are you waiting? Are you preparing something, or?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a project I plan to drop at the top of next year. It's gonna be an album. It's gonna be insane, out of this world. So yeah, I just been locked in, really working on that. When the pandemic hit, I could have handled it a little better, but it was kind of just a crazy situation for everybody. So, a lot of studios out here shut down, and So, but yeah, I've just been locked in, working on this project.
So how popular was your music before the show? Like a Mile High Minute, I think you said one of your songs had 50,000 listens. Is that right? Or
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest artist by any means. I mean, followers wise, I only had like 3,000 on my Instagram before the show, but my song Knock It Off kind of took off a little bit before the show dropped that summer, and that's what had hit like 50,000 plays.
Knock It Off, that one sounds like it's a diss song towards somebody.
I think it's just a diss song to people in general. Really honestly, when I was writing it, I was just like, what pisses you off? Like, what do you not like about people? And that's what I rapped about.
You don't like people showing 400 on Instagram.
Damn, posted 400 on the gram. Don't ever post money if it ain't even a band. Swear you about that life till you caught up in that jam. Threw you in that box and you folded on your man. Damn.
Don't post money if it ain't even a band.
So like currently Instagram seems to be your biggest social media. Is that by design? Did that just happen? Are you just more inclined to be on Instagram, or like is there something you think that makes your Instagram more than your other social media? Or?
I think that's just what people gravitated to me on. You know, that's where I gained a lot of traction and still gain traction. But I think it's the biggest platform, you know, for artists anyway. So I'm glad it kind of happened on Instagram. I would like it to be there more than anywhere else anyway. So worked out well.
I saw you did like speaking or something for TuneCore. You were a presenter or like a moderator of a talk trying to encourage artists to how to build their brand on Instagram, essentially.
Yeah, I did a little panel they invited me to do, just talking about, you know, how ways to promote your music on Instagram and how to, you know, engage with your fans.
That's cool. And then I saw on Instagram you posted that Puma sent you some clothes. That's pretty fresh.
Yeah, I'm rocking some right now. I like the Puma.
And then on Barbershop, I think you said you got some Reebok.
Yeah, I fuck with both of the brands. They've definitely both shown me love. I've met with Reebok. I actually been to their headquarters, you know, and I've talked with Puma. You know, they show me love. They send me clothes, and I appreciate it. Yeah.
I recall, so Jack Harlow, he's from Louisville, where I'm at in Kentucky, right? And I didn't know him, but, you know, I knew who he was before he had, you know, really blew up like he has now. And I recall on his Instagram, he posted that New Balance sent him a bunch of free shit before he was really, you know, the big deal that he is now. So yeah, it seems like they kind of have their ear to the streets, like knowing who's about to blow up. So that's a good sign.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Because now he's signed to them. He gets paid for them now. Yeah. I did peep though. I was on to Jack Harlow really early too, like before he signed to Drama. Bro, I always noticed that like he doesn't wear anything but New Balances.
Yeah. So I have a kid that's his age, and I remember they were saying something about Jack Harlow's at the you know whatever store, and I was like, who the hell is Jack Harlow? And I'm like, he's great. And like he was still in high school at this point, and like I was like, yeah, he can't be that. And he had a little 5-song EP he had here locally, and it was really good. Like. So I was and you know I've been checking for him ever since. And I don't like all of his songs, but like a lot of his songs I like a lot. Like Magazine's a really good song. Like obviously What's Poppin' is great. And then you know, so I heard you say that you got some radio play in Chicago, but on some of your songs you talk about not being played on the radio. So like I assume that after the show people started playing you on the radio some.
Well, actually it's kind of crazy, like, and it's sad, but that's just like how Denver works in my city. So that's what I'm talking about. Like my city doesn't play me on the radio, which is kind of mind blowing. But yeah, I still get played in Chicago. I've been in Missouri and other demographics, you know, I still get played. So,
what do they get? What gets played now? Like, is it multiple songs or is it one or two you're pushing? Or
at first, really, like it was Knock It Off was moving and Blessed Up and Who Would Have Thought were like the three that had hit radio.
Is radio still important to you? Like, yeah, I'm older than you. When I was younger, radio was a big thing, but now I didn't know if streaming is really what you want to focus on, or is it still? I mean, it's still cool to be on the radio, of course, but is it a big deal? Does it really make a difference when the radio starts playing you at this point?
I think it helps, but it's not my number one focus by any means, because you could easily make it without radio. You can look at rappers like Tyler, the Creator, or people like that. They'll never get played on the radio, and they're some of the biggest artists in the world. So definitely in the climate we're in right now, it's not a main focus for me. It's dope, you know. I think it can help, but if you're not in a super rotation, then it doesn't really do much for you.
I haven't proactively listened to regular radio since Howard Stern went on Sirius Satellite, which is like 2006. Exactly. And Eminem had Shade 45 at that point. He still has it then, but that was new then. And then that's when Spotify and all started coming up. So like I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to an actual radio station.
Me neither. Like literally, I feel like that's everybody. You know, it's an ox. You play what you want. You know, who's really listening to the radio? It's
I did hear you say that you knew that it was gonna come on. Like you heard it in the car. You went to the car to listen to yourself on the radio. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously no experience. You know, like that's just never happened to me. You know, so of course I took it in and I enjoyed it. But I know it's not my goal. You know, my goal is to be so big, you know, just getting played once is dope, and I appreciate it, but it doesn't satisfy me all the way, you know.
Has anyone made a Jakob Campbell diss song?
Not that I know of. I'm waiting for today.
Do people say horrible shit to you on social media?
Sometimes. For the most part, it's love, though. That's what I try to focus on, you know. Obviously, you know, I'm going to catch some hate, and I do, but I get more love than hate, so that's what matters.
People say atrocious shit to me on YouTube comments, like on my videos. Yeah, people are just savage. Just like, I don't give a shit. I mean, I laugh at them. I usually get my heart like on the YouTube because like nothing really bothers me. But
man. People are rude, man. At the end of the day, though, I'm just like, ain't no way you're gonna say it to my face. So I ain't tripping.
So let's talk about Jakob Campbell. What made you who you are? So you're born and raised in Denver?
Yes, sir.
Denver proper, or you're like outside of Denver, or like you in the city, or like I don't know anything about Denver, so.
Yeah, I'm in the city, Denver, Colorado, man. My hometown. I love it.
So in the show and on your songs, you talk a lot about your dad leaving. Like, how old would that be when your dad, dipped out?
My dad officially left my life and never came back around when I was 7 years old.
Oh, wow. Young then. Huh? And then, so that makes sense then, because you said you started rapping around 8 or 9. Like, you said you made a shitty mixtape, which was funny.
Terrible.
Do you remember the first rap song you ever heard?
First rap song I ever heard. I don't know the first one I ever heard, but the first one I ever like remembered and was Kick Push by Lupe. Was like my first, like, I was like, this is, I listened to it on the radio.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Yeah, that was like the first shit. So I remember my dad, he actually played it for me when I was younger, when I was like 6, and I remember that shit.
That was really different at the time. Now it's, people rap more like that. But at the time, there wasn't a lot of people rapping like that kind of style.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Lupe was in the Chicago episode, not where you are, but, before.
Yeah, and then after that, I'm a big 50 Cent fan, so Get Rich or Die Trying, I listen to just all the fucking time. I remember I lived with my cousins, and he got it for Christmas, and that's all we listened to.
I'm older than you, but I was super into 50 Cent when it first came out. I had his mixtapes before that. I was in the How to Rob. I like that song. And then all the mixtapes, Lloyd Banks was killing on those mixtapes. And then there was so much hype for Get Rich or Die Trying to come out. And, back then we bought physical CDs. I remember taking my lunch break and trying to go to Best Buy, and the whole rack was gone. Like, shit was just sold out everywhere. We had to go to like 2 or 3 different stores before we finally got one. And like,
that's probably the biggest debut of all time, one of them.
And I've heard you say 50 Cent was one of your favorite, 50, Andre, and Lil Wayne. I love 50 Cent. Like, I think it's great. Like, Before I Self-Destruct, I love that album. Didn't do very well commercially, I think, but I think that's one of his strongest albums.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I feel like bro got a lot of good albums, but, people say his discography is not that great, but shit, I fuck with him. That's what
Who in your life was really putting you, because, like, I don't really know your mom, but she didn't look like she's a big hip hop head, right? Who was really putting you on to rap music? Like, who was in your life playing songs for you?
Yeah, honestly, like I said, I lived with my cousins when I was younger. It's my big cousin. His name's Kit. He was older at the time. He was in high school when I was, young, before I was even in middle school, and he put me on to like pretty much all the music that we was listening to in the house. So he definitely played a part and just put me on all the hip hop that was hot.
Do you still talk to him?
Not really, honestly.
Does he know you're a rap superstar?
He knows. Yeah, I definitely talk to his younger brother, my other cousin. So yeah, we're just not as close as we used to be, but still all love.
So you said you made like mixtapes or messing around 8 or 9, but you started getting serious like around 15, is that right? Yeah,
that's when I really started recording. Like, I was still in the house, but that's when I started recording, and I was like, I want to do this for real.
So how do you start recording at that point? Do you have like you on a computer and a microphone, or do you have a friend that has like a studio set up, or how do you?
Yeah, it was really just like a computer and a microphone set up. It wasn't nothing good. It was my friend's little brother. We would go to his house. He had got all the equipment, and we would just go there and rap. And then after that, we started paying for studio time within that same year. Just making shit.
So what do you do now? Now do you go to the studio, or do you do it on, now there's a lot more software than there was back in the day. So like, do you still go to a standard studio, or do you have like a computer setup, or what do you do?
I still go to a standard studio, that's just a good vibe. And my engineer is great. He laces me down every time more than I ever could. I have a little home set up at my house, but that's more for just getting ideas out and writing process.
Practicing, yeah, I get you. So do you have a specific producer you use, or do you get beats from just random people, or how do you get your beats for your songs?
Yeah, I get beats from everywhere. Whoever got the hottest shit, I'm rapping on it.
So you said your engineer, whoever that guy is, he's doing a great job, because like I have a Jeep, I got a 10-inch subwoofer, 900-watt system, nothing super fancy, but it's pretty good. And like your beats hit hard. I like a lot of bass in my songs, and like even like some like major label folks, like sometimes their shit doesn't hit. I mean, it'll be a good song, but the bass line doesn't really punch, and like all your songs seem to hit pretty hard.
Yeah, for sure. My engineer does so much justice. Shout out my guy Nick, man. Augmented Studios, man.
Do you write to a beat, or are you just scribbling lyrics around? Like Eminem famously, like, has a notebook with just crazy writing all over it. Do you do that? Do you write in the phone?
I'm definitely writing in the notebook now. Been doing that about 2 years now. I put the phone down. I write strictly in the notebook. For the most part, I write to the beat. There do be times when I just got ideas and I just start writing, maybe find a beat to it later. But for the most part, yeah, just hear the beat and write what I feel.
What's your favorite song of all time?
Just period. Probably Mini Man or Jakob and I.
Oh, that's a diverse mix.
Very diverse, but yeah.
Mini Man's fantastic. I played that for my son recently because, like, he's too young to know to come up on that. And like,
man, yeah, that's one of the greatest songs ever made. That shit is so fire.
That whole album was pretty solid. I did not like that one song that got really big, the How Many Questions or whatever. Like
21 Questions.
Yeah, I didn't like that. No, that's corny.
R.I.P. Nate Dogg. I think top to bottom, there's not one bad song, in my opinion.
Oh, it's a great album. Yeah, I mean, I listen to it on a regular basis. And then that's some of Eminem's best work there too. When he
was rapping his ass off.
Oh, yeah. That's like his, gangster phase. That was probably like my favorite. I still love Eminem. I'll check this new album and shit like that. But back then, that was some.
Yeah,
I like that stuff.
You get fucked with it, yeah.
What's your favorite song of yours?
Favorite song of mine? It's a hard decision, man. I feel like it changes a lot. Probably right now, it's the last one I drive. That's really how it be. It's like the last one I drive be my favorite. Floating is probably one of my favorites that I've ever made. I will say One Verse is one of my favorite songs that I've ever made. And then Who Am I is a really dope one too.
So in the barbershop, when you said Pain to Champagne, what's your favorite song?
See, look, it changes. I told you it changes, man. That's one of my favorites.
I love that song. I'll Wait for My Time. It's probably my favorite song. And then Pain to Champagne, and then She Won't Never Leave.
Okay. She Won't Never Leave was slept on. That's a banger.
I don't know how well you pay attention to that, but I tweeted Pain to Champagne was incredible. The way you kick it from like the 2-minute mark, 159, 220, when you're talking about the Jordan line and lifting and.
So exhausted and I'm hating what I'm watching. That's the day I started plotting. Now I'm winning. Me and Mosh like Jordan Pippen. I'm a scorer, he assistant. They just found out that I'm different. I raised the bar like I was lifting. I'ma travel like I'm slipping. And I cannot keep a pivot. Every single song is hidden. Guarantee that I ain't missing. Now my trigger finger itching. I don't see no competition. Cause you rapped it, but I lived it. I thank God for this position. Girls dancing like a vixen. Champagne tops is what I'm twisting. Till they pop and bitch, I did it. Ain't been the same. My whole life been changed.
Said it was fucking stellar, and you retweeted it and said, look at this.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that. Yeah, that shit was hard. I had the Magic Johnson bar on there. It's crazy. I'm glad I listened to my conscience instead of being cautious. Man, these rappers so obnoxious. They mad because I'm honest. Now we got more bad blood than Magic Johnson.
What about of your collab? No, this is, you don't want to answer this. That's cool. But like, what's your favorite collaborator? Like, you've worked with D-Nate Picasso. I don't know these people other than from you, but Sam. And so do you have a favorite song of the ones that what's your favorite collaboration with those, of the ones you've done with other people?
Probably my favorite are the ones that I've released. The one with Sam was dope, but I feel like it would have been better if we got to link up to do it. It was kind of just, I emailed the verse, or he emailed the song, I emailed the verse back. I think the song with Trev Rich was probably my favorite that's released, because the energy in the studio was just super dope. He wrote his verse there on spot, me too, and it was fire.
Blessed Up is dope. Your verse is great. That beat's really strong. The chorus is strong. The song with DNA Picasso, which I never heard of either, I'll just check with you, but that song Ball. It sounds like a really cohesive and complete sounding song. So like I like the Sam song, but it does sound, it's like two different songs in one, essentially. Like, it doesn't blend as well as something like that DNA Picasso song. That just sounds like.
I think it just comes from, like I said, just being in there. Like the song I did with DNA, we was just in there. I freestyled the hook and my verse, and it was just like a creative energy.
Yeah, so not the whole song, but do you have a favorite verse of those collaborations? Because I think it's different. Although I like Blessed Up, your verse on Hunted Flock. I don't like that chorus at all, but your verse on that song was fantastic.
Hunted Flock?
Yeah.
You heard that song?
It's out. Yeah, it's on Spotify.
No way. That's crazy. I didn't know it was out. Because, I did that for Trev. I didn't know he put that out.
Yeah, your verse on there is really strong. And the beat song, I like the other guys' verses too, but the chorus I don't like. The chorus is really repetitive.
That's crazy. I didn't know you put that out. I'm going to have to Yeah, I appreciate it. No, that's dope.
What about, do you have a favorite verse from the people you worked with? I like Sam, but I'm biased because I like Sam before this, so it's more relevant to me.
That verse was hard. I don't know, man. That's tough. Like, a lot of these I done a while ago. Like the song I did with Sam, we recorded that like over a year ago. He just recently decided to put it out, but I haven't put out a lot of my collaborations though. So coming soon though. I do like to work by myself a lot though, but I'm trying to reach out and work with more artists.
So when you make a song, what's your process like? Do you just keep going it over and over again, or you just make it and be like, I'm done, this is it? Or do you keep going back and tweaking things? For the most part, like I usually, if I don't nail it on the first time, then I kind of vet it. But usually, if I hit it on the first time, I don't really have to make too many tweaks. I just record like a rough version, then go record it again and get it mixed. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So what's your daily routine like now? Like, what do you, because you can't tour, I guess you mostly can't tour. Like, do you have a schedule you stick to, or is every day like seeing what's gonna happen? Yeah, it's pretty much, I wouldn't say it's all over the place. Like I said, I still do work a job. So, I go to work, and then after work, straight to writing, pretty much write anytime that I'm off. And then studio pretty much on the weekends, just record a shit ton on every weekend. So, my channel normally focuses on tech and whatnot. Are you a gamer? I'm not a huge gamer. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm probably the greatest 2K player of all time. I'm trying to get into Call of Duty lately. I fuck with Warzone heavy, but I'm not that good. So I don't like that. I don't play that game because it's first person. I've been playing a game called Rogue Company, which is the same concept of Call of Duty essentially, but it's third person. Yeah. And I get into those a little more. Did you like Fortnite? So Fortnite's made my channel big. I have a video with 2.3 million views from Fortnite, and then my son's super into Fortnite, so I buy all this shit for Fortnite because he loves it. And I don't really like the game that much. There was a similar game called Realm Royale that I played, but kind of died out. But so I will play it with him. The one similar, I like PUBG. I like that better than Fortnite. But I like Warzone better than all of them compared. If we're talking about the Battle Royale. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? I don't. I got an Xbox One. I need to get the next gen, but I'll probably get a PS5 if I do get next gen. Oh, really? I have both I have the PS4 and the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. I haven't ordered into the next gen because nothing really appealed to me, and I hate doing that shit where you have to immediately try to get it day one. Yeah, right? Exactly. I feel the same way. I'm gonna wait till it's stocked up, and then I'll eventually get it. I'm not in a super rush though. Do you be playing on PC? Yeah, well, so this PC that I'm recording this on now, I tweaked it. But again, I'm not really a hardcore gamer. I play games, but I don't get into these super competitive games like most folks do. You should get a Nintendo Switch if you start traveling again. Once this world clears up, because I normally travel a lot, and so that's great on the airplane. You can have the Switch out in the hotel room. You can some games. Yeah, I do need to get one. That would be dope. Exactly, because before all of this, I was fucking on a flight once a week. So. Oh yeah. Did you watch a Little Dicky show, Dave? Yeah, I love it. Oh, that show was great, right? It was hilarious. Oh my gosh. What about Hamilton? You watch Hamilton? I don't think I've heard of that. Hamilton was the play that was super huge. Was where they're rapping about Alexander Hamilton. They put it on Disney Plus now, so you can watch it on video. So they rap all through it, and I hadn't watched it forever because I've grown up listening to rap, and I was like, it's gonna be shitty. but then it's not. It's like it's really good. Dobby Diggs is in there. He's part of Clipping, and Leslie Odom Jr. Like you should check it out.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty impressive. They're really good songs.
I might have to watch that. Yeah.
Did you watch a lot of TV as a kid?
Yeah, for sure. I'm big on movies more than TV. I do watch a lot of TV.
You make a lot of references I wouldn't assume a 22-year-old would know. So
like
on All Right, you said, "Did I do that? I'm feeling like Urkel."
My rap universal, man. Where you going commercial? How you got squares in your circle? Man, you get jumped like a hurdle. Did I do that? I'm feeling like Urkel. When my rings in Saturn, your wins low, bad family matters. Bringing that green to my bed like a Packer. I am a bat.
And kids don't know Urkel. You made the Family Matters reference as well. Like, I mean, you make a Keith Sweat reference. I wouldn't think that people would know Keith Sweat.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I just, I like classic stuff pretty much. I guess that's the best way to put it. Classic movies, classic TV, whatever it is. Yeah. I did fuck with Family Matters a lot, actually.
On the barbershop cipher, you said, "I'm with the cash, I'm more stingy than Virgil." Do you watch wrestling?
I can tell that they fertile. With the cash, I'm more stingy than Virgil.
No, that line was actually to Virgil Abloh, the guy who makes Off-White clothing.
Oh,
because during the Black Lives Matter protests, he's like a fucking millionaire. He only donated $50 and posted it on his IG trying to flaunt it. So
I see. Like in the 80s, there was a wrestler named Virgil, and he held the money for some other guy. So I thought that was a reference.
Times where I didn't even know it. I wasn't huge on wrestling. I watched a little, kind of growing up, but I wasn't a big, super wrestling fan.
So I Googled you prepping for this, and it came up with a few network sites pulled up. One network site said you were worth 50,000. Another one said you were worth 250,000.
I've seen both of those, man. Hey, I don't know where they get these numbers, man.
They have so many details. Like one of them had a name for it. They said it was your girlfriend, and all this stuff. Do you look at that kind of shit?
I've seen some of that, and a lot of it is so wrong. That's why I'm like, what? Like you said, I'm 5 something. I'm
you're 5'11", yeah. But you seem bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm 6'2". A whole bunch of that. I don't think it said I was white. I think it said I was multiracial.
Yeah, it said you're multiracial on one of them. I was like, I didn't think that was there.
I don't know where they get this, man. But it's funny to see.
So on Barbershop, they asked you if you can make a song with anyone, and you said Drake because all of his shit just blows up, which I thought that was pretty funny. But then you said you'd really want to make a song with Andre, but Andre doesn't really make much music anymore now. I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't come out.
Yeah, he's just an introverted person, it seems like. So
there's someone that's currently active that you could make a song with. Who would you have an idea of someone you would pick that's not in your current scope of people?
Man, I like Meek Mill a lot. I think we would make a fire song. I've been fucking with Lil Durk heavy lately. And then obviously legends like Wayne, I would obviously love to do in 50. But if I was to just make one right now, probably Meek or Durk. I fuck with Mozzie too. Do you know anyone famous? Who's the most famous person you're texting? Who's the most famous person I'm texting? I don't know, honestly. I mean, I know some people that have some notoriety, but I'm not best friends with someone who's super big. Yeah. What about, did you ever think about reaching out to Twista or Royce or Chance and try to do a song? Honestly, I haven't, but I don't know. I don't know what would come from it. Maybe not. Let's see. I mean, only some of them follow me back on IG, not all of them. So, yeah, so we'll see. I don't know who would even be down to do that, but I would. I wouldn't be opposed. I would love to do a song with Royce. I think we would go so crazy. Yeah, I think that would fit. Twista would be cool if he do it. He could do a chorus. He's so fast. What about, does your mom listen to your music? My mom, I don't know how much she listens to it. She does listen to it. Her favorite song is One Day. She loved that song. She listens to that one all the time, but some of the other stuff. I was going to ask if she would, what does she say when she hears a line like lean with it, walk with it. If a bitch is bad, I put my cock in it. Drink, put some drop in it, lean with it, walk with it. If a bitch is bad, I put my cock in it. Trying to get the whip without the roof so I can. Let's see if your mom would disapprove of such things. She would 1,000% disapprove. That's so funny, man. I've never been asked that. I don't think she heard that song. She recently started listening to me, actually. That's funny. She would definitely hate it. She definitely, I don't know. I try to censor, but Sometimes things come out.
Do you play it like when you make a new song? Do you play it for it, or are you selective? Like one day is seems like something that's a little more approachable than.
But definitely selective. I'm not gonna, she gonna hear it, whatever, because obviously she could listen to me at any time. But if I'm there with her, I'm definitely selective. I don't want to be saying shit like that in front of her.
As I said, I feel like you're a student of hip hop. You put all those references in your songs, which I love that. It's always nice to catch those. So let's get into actual songs. Looks like your most popular songs on Spotify are Blessed Up and Knocking Off. I didn't know Trev Rich, but apparently he's, I assume, a big deal of some sort, right? Like he was on that Spider-Man soundtrack and stuff like that. Do you think does he bring fans to you, or do you think that the song itself is just what's really growing that one?
I think it was both. Trev is actually from Denver. He was like the biggest one before me. He's like the OG here, the big dog, so he's got farther than anyone. So he was once signed to Birdman, no longer though, but he does a lot of writing though for people. But yeah, I think it was a mixture of everything. It still gets streamed like crazy to this day, and I dropped it in January. I don't know, I think we just marketed it really well, and I don't know why people just gravitated to it like crazy.
It's a great song. Like if I was to take someone that never heard of you and I want to say, hey, you gotta check out Jakob, that's probably the first song I would play.
Really? Yeah. I mean, like you said, the bass is crazy. Shout out to my bro Jesse who made the beat. Yeah, I just think altogether, like the song just in a whole is very fire, because even on SoundCloud, it's got like 600,000. So it's definitely just, people gravitated to it. It's definitely my biggest song ever. So
of your collaboration songs, Big Dog Sam is your most popular. That's, I would assume, Sam's a little more well known because of the show than other folks you worked with as well.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was dope, man.
And then on your videos, of course, Blessed Up's the most popular, followed by One Day. It was really close to 34,000 for Blessed Up, and then 31,000 for One Day, and then Get 'Em. It's 21,000 views. So the videos do pretty good. I saw on Instagram at one point you were looking for actors for a new video.
Yeah.
Is that something that's already came out, or the song, is that something that's come out, or is that a song that hasn't been released yet?
It's a song that hasn't been released. The video is finished now. Super fire. It's really just about my life. So I got people playing my mom, playing me as a kid. I think it's going to do really well. That's one thing I'm trying to improve on is my visuals and dropping more. Because like you said, I only have 2 that I dropped this year. So
yeah, because your videos do pretty good numbers. So I was going to ask you why you didn't make more videos. I know time consuming, is probably expensive, but they do pretty good. Those are good numbers.
Yeah, the streams are even way bigger, crazy enough. I thought the video would be more than the streams, but I don't know. I'm just trying to figure everything out. There's no right or wrong way to do things, but I definitely got to get more consistent. I'm dropping a video actually next Friday. So,
oh yeah,
I'm dropping it. It's for a new song called Top 2.
I'll be interested to check that out.
Yeah.
All right, so I did a search and I was trying to find, like I said, I was just, before I even knew this was going to happen, I was consuming your music as much as I can. So I was digging through, I was trying to find things, and then now I've kind of organized them. The oldest thing I could find from you was from 2016. It was called A Dream. It was on a channel called Ghost Films. You have big square glasses on, and you sound way different. And you look pretty young. So I don't know if it actually came out in 2016 or not, but it's younger in that video. Do you remember that?
I definitely do remember that. That video in the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my music's came a long way. My growth has been very crazy.
Is that the actual first video you ever made?
No, the first video I ever made was for a song called Losing It.
Yeah, Losing It. That's on the Sputter Spit channel.
Sputter Spit, yeah. So yeah, that was the first video I've ever made.
Oh, really? Because that one has almost 14,000 views as well. So that's pretty good as well. It sounds more closer to what you are now than A Dream doesn't sound anything like what you are now.
That's funny, yeah. Both of them was around the same time. So I was just trying to figure out my sound and find myself as an artist.
And that Stutter Spit channel also has a song called No Hook. With somebody named Sales, and it looks like y'all are on Target, and at one point you're rapping on a shelf, and it looks like you're looking behind you the whole time, like you're waiting to get caught.
Yeah, I remember that. These need to be deleted. Thanks for especially that one. That's a funny video, man. I forgot about that one.
So then the oldest song that's on your official Spotify or YouTube music page, it's never changed. And it says it's from July 2016. So you're like 17, 18 years old there. Is that about right?
Yeah, I was 17 when I made that song.
And so that's another example where you make references to other songs. Like you say, it's okay, kind of like The Game says in his song. You make a crisscross reference. You make a reference to Leader of the New School. You know, these are things that are like beyond your years, right? I fucking love Crisscross. Like Crisscross was big when I was little.
Crisscross is fire.
Crisscross's last album was 96. You weren't even born yet, but you're still making references. So.
Yeah, I just set a bar about that in the Big Dog song.
Yeah. And then you end that song talking about being in the back of a cop car.
Yeah.
Was that sounds like cops hit a party or something like that? Is that what happened?
That was a crazy night. Yeah, it was. We had a party. It ended up getting shot up. We was outside, and then the cops came, and I got arrested for being just outside of my curfew. You know, we was trying to run from the cops and got caught.
That sounds like a interesting evening there, huh?
It was crazy. Like, so the party had got shot up, and then we left, and my friend's car had got stolen. So that's why we had nowhere to go. And then the cops was coming, and we tried to run from the cops and ended up getting caught.
Do you generally hang out in rough areas such as that?
I wouldn't say just be the people I'm around. You know, I grew up with all types of different people. You know, some people are into that, and some of my closest friends are in the street life, you know, but I just focus on my music.
So then your second oldest song on YouTube and Spotify is Get 'Em, which that one has a video as well. It said April 2018, so you should be around 19 years old there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first song I thought that, like, of your older songs, that's the first one to show some real promise. Like you have a little cadence where you're like wicked gifted. They can't see my vision, no pot to piss in. And then keeps that came kind of flow to like Pop's addicted, cousin got evicted, we evicted. Sorry, I'm just reminiscing. Do you remember that?
But I say up in pause, not a politician. That's fine.
Yeah. That was solid. That was a real strong. I like, you know, those older songs are not bad. Like Losing is not bad, but like that one, that's when you start seeing that kind of what you have today, like that fast flow you have like in the middle of a song, and then
for sure, yeah. I think that was one of my first songs since I found my manager. So they definitely helped me find my sound and grow my music. Because all that stuff before that, like Losing, all that, I didn't know them back then. So Get 'Em was like one of the first songs I put out under my managers.
You reference in lots of interviews and songs, you reference taking a year off at one point. I assume that's 2017 because 2016 was those older songs and this is 2018. So is that 2017? You just take a year off just to work on your craft?
Yeah, it was 2017, that whole year leading up to when we dropped Get 'Em. But yeah, that's when I had met my managers after I graduated. I was going to go to college, and I had met my manager at the same time, like around when I was going to go to college. And I kind of just made a decision, like, this is what I want to do. I felt like it wasn't a coincidence that he came into my life at that time. So I just decided to run with that. It was definitely a struggle. They told me that, I was going to not drop any music for a year and really sit down and like really perfect.
Okay, so that was their idea to just sit and grind it out.
Yeah, I deleted all my old music. I used to have so much music on the internet. I deleted it all. That was hard to do in the moment. Because, there were songs where I had got to like 10,000 plays or like 5,000. And to me at that time, that's just like, I'm like, this is crazy. And like, I worked so hard and you're going to make me delete it. But at the end of the day, it was all worth it in the end.
Yeah. If you remember Kanye's first album on Spaceship, he says he locked himself in a room doing 5 beats a day for 3 summers. I'm just working on your shit to get it better. And
a lot of people
pays off.
Do that, and that's just a sacrifice. A lot of people wouldn't be willing to sit down for a year and really just work on music and not release anything or be active, really.
So you still recorded some stuff there, but you weren't actually just posting online or anything like that. You just kept it in house and then reviewed it with each other.
A shit ton, but like you said, I wasn't releasing anything. I wasn't even active on social media. I was just trying to really work on my music.
So that's another one where you make a hip hop reference. You said, when you're this sick, you need to call Dre because I need a doctor. Obviously it's a fairly famous song. Yeah. And then, so still in 2018, then you have a song called All Right. There's no video on that. Spotify says it came out on July 24th, which is my birthday. So that's a present to me.
Oh, really? That's my birthday.
And that sounds like your sound's still improving there. That's the one where you say, did I do that? I'm feeling like Urkel. Still in 2018, then you drop the Lean Back freestyle on YouTube. You make a reference to I'm a renegade like him and Jay. And then that's just like in somebody's car.
Yeah, that was
rapping over the Lean Back beat, the solid. So that would have been in August 2018. And then I think October is when you said you started talking to people. And then December 2018 is around the time when you first started getting involved with Netflix and Rhythm of Flow, right?
Yeah. for sure. So yeah, I didn't have a lot out at that time, but I had a lot of music, but just not released.
So then Louder Than Words comes out July 31st, 2019. So that is before Rhythm and Flow was actually posted on Netflix, but obviously the show was done at that point, right?
Yeah.
Were those songs created before Rhythm and Flow, or is it all stuff you like, were you energized after the show and you were just cranking out music at that point?
I definitely was energized making a lot of music, but for that project, I think it was about half and half. I did some of those before the show and some after. Like one verse I did before the show, You, She Won't Ever Leave. I think that's about it, are the ones that I did before the show. After that, I Wait for My Time, Feeling, No Stopping Me, Knock It Off. All of those I did after the show.
What kind of work goes into an album cover here? So like, I like that album cover, but at first when I saw it, I thought you were just screaming with your mouth wide open, but then like your picture on Twitter, like you have tape over your mouth. So I assume that's what it's supposed to be. But like to me, it looked like it. When I first saw it, it looked like you were just screaming and your mouth was just open from yelling.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, what we did a photo shoot, like you said, the one with the tape. And then I thought it would be a dope idea to animate it. And I hit up this girl that I know and she did it for me. And I like that cover. It's one of my favorites, actually.
I do like the album cover. So like, I mean, yeah, I thought you were screaming, but I liked it. I thought that was cool. And I think it, especially because Wait Before My Time starts out with screaming and then are you kind of yelling? And so like, after I wrote your name down, from the show when I was watching it for people to check for, and then when I found you on Spotify, YouTube Music, you have 2 or 3, you have a handful of songs on there. And that album cover, I was like, well, I want to see what that's about. And that's why. So Wait For My Time is the first song on that album and the first song I actually listened to after Netflix. It was mainly because of that album cover.
That's dope. And you said that's your favorite song.
Oh yeah. So that starts out like, and that song is it's hands down my favorite song. Like I like a lot of your songs. I mean, almost all your songs, but like Wait For My Time. If I'm in a I made a Jakob Campbell playlist, and then if that one comes back up, I always play it probably twice because I'll just start back over and listen to it again.
I was definitely rapping my ass off on that one.
Yeah, because it doesn't follow like a conventional format. Like there's not really a chorus, or like at least the chorus kind of changes between verses. I like that. So it starts out with you yelling, and then you have a line you say, I used to beg them for a chance, now they can never make me dance. I'm not chasing no advance. If I take this leap of faith, I guarantee I'm gonna land. I assume that's a reference to the show.
That it can never make me dance, cause I ain't chasing no advance. If I take this leap of faith, I guarantee that I'ma land. I can tell you how I'm different, but you'll know it.
Honestly, it's just a reference to the industry. Honestly, just like kind of like taking the deal. Like you can't control me because I'm not chasing money. And that's what that really means. It's like a record label wouldn't be able to control me or my music because I'm not chasing money. Like I could have been signed if I just was chasing some money, but I want the best for my music and my position.
And then you say, I love this dumb line, but he says, you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping, bitch. All I got is sauce and they lost in it.
You ain't got no haters, you ain't popping, bitch. All I got is sauce and they lost in it. All I know is pain and I'm attracted to my opposite. Brother, don't drink, put some drop in it. Lean with it.
I love that line. I love the delivery. And then we go into the lean with it, walk with it. If your bitch is bad, I'll put my cock in it. So Lean With It, Rock With It was a song from 2006 from them Franchise Boys. But yeah, surely you don't know that song, right? I mean, like, that's not, I know people say Lean With It.
I know that song. Fire. Yeah.
One of the best parts of this song is when you get into the cadence where you're the freshman with a letterman, feeling like a veteran. And then you go through B-Rabbit, G-Eazy, Logic, or Eminem. Fuck you if you ever call me one of them. The evidence is evident. Those are some people that I'm better than.
Freshman with a letterman, feeling like a veteran. B-Rabbit, G-Eazy, Logic, or Eminem. Fuck you if you ever call me one of them. This evidence is evident. Those are just some people that I'm better than.
Obviously, that's a list of white rappers. I don't know if you did it on purpose or not, but Evidence is also a white rapper, so that's pretty fresh if you did that on purpose for that.
I didn't, but yeah, I'm not familiar, but that's fire too.
He's part of Dahlia Peoples. Like whenever Eminem was beefing with Everlast and Dahlia Peoples, he was on there. He's pretty solid, actually. But
yeah, a lot of people.
So it works.
I mean, that's just how I feel, man. Like, because I get compared to all of them all the time. So
yeah, I would say that generally happens. I don't think you sound like any of them at all.
See, thank you. That's what I just like. And it's no disrespect. It's just like when people draw that comparison, it's clearly based off of me being white. Like, because I clearly don't sound like any of them.
Now, did you purposely say B-Rabbit and Eminem? Is that just working with the rhyme scheme, or like why would you? I mean,
I purposely said that because I feel like, I get called that all the time.
Oh, okay.
Before the show, I used to get called that all the time. Obviously, that's to make fun of me. It's not to.
Yeah, that's gotta be annoying.
Like Eminem, more like, oh, that's dope. You sound like Eminem. That's more like a respectable. But to get called beat, but obviously it's people just talking shit.
No, that makes sense. I don't like G-Eazy at all. Logic's pretty. I mean, he has some good songs, but then other ones I'm not crazy about. But I never like anything G-Eazy puts out. Eminem, of course, is great. So then you another baller line. You say, "Fuck your budget." I'll say that to Warren Buffett, which I thought was great.
Leaving here with nothing, called the devil David Ruffin. Fuck your budget. I'll say that to Warren Buffett. If changing in the subject, then I'm not budging. Got in the game and started hitting.
Yeah, that whole scheme was fire. The Temptation bar. I called the devil David Ruffin. That was fire. Yeah, I was rapping my ass off on that song. I ain't gonna lie.
That sounds great. And then so like in this song, each verse is better than the next or just as strong as the next. Because in the third verse, you're saying God gifted me every single stone that's in Thanos' glove. And then he told me when I get on a track, I snap and they all disappear. And then in that part, so that one, it goes a cappella, there's an echo, and when you snap, there's a snap sound effect.
God gifted me every single stone that's in Thanos' glove. He told me get up on the track. If I snap, then they all disappear.
Yeah, do you say I want that in there, or does the producer make that happen, or like?
That was my idea. My engineer put the sound in. I mean, that was me actually on the microphone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but yeah, that was my idea to put it in there. I just felt it brought.
Oh, yeah, it makes it always like on Eminem's first album, he made all the sound effects in the background, like you can hear his mouth, like made the sound effect. But like I like that when songs have like sound effects built into them, it makes it, you know.
Exactly, and it just adds to the bar, like the Thanos shit.
And then so the second song on that is No Stopping Me. That's the second song on the album. That's also the second song of yours I ever heard because I just heard Wait for My Time. And then I just let it roll right into No Stopping Me. Again, a really great song. And then you have a killer line there. You Kwame Brown, I'm LeBron. I heard your song, I hate your song.
Kwame Brown and I'm LeBron. I heard your song, I hate your song. I won't play it again. I ain't here to pretend.
I love that.
That's funny, man. Kwame Brown, biggest buster in the
And then at the end of the song, you kind of switch it up. You say you try to stop me, you'll perform as a hologram.
Put in work, put these rappers in the urn. Put their career inside a body bag. If you try to stop me, you'll perform as a hologram. Your efforts gonna be hopeless. Hard to stop my movement when I'm already in motion.
And then at that point, there's like a vocal effect when you say all your effects are going to be hopeless. Like, how does that work out? Like when you write the song out, are you like, I'm going to change this shit up at the end? Or does that happen in the studio?
That mostly, stuff like that mostly is in the studio. Me and my engineer, like I said, we're really close and we're just both very creative. So we just, that was his idea on that one, to slow it down and chop the beat how he did. Because the beat wasn't originally like that. He slowed it down, chopped it like that. So yeah, it's really just a creative thing. Like sometimes when I'm writing, I can have ideas like that, but most of the time I get those when I'm recording. Like, oh, this would be a good idea.
I really like that effect. So
like that,
I think it turned out well.
When I wrote what song is that? Live in This Moment. When I did the Andre voice, I just rapped it regular at first, and then in the studio, my manager and my engineer were like, "Nah, you gotta say it how you say it." Forever.
On the Dave show, Lil Dicky, he just showed a lot of that. Him and Steele just trying to make sounds and noises. I thought that was interesting to see, like how things go down like that. And then at the end of that song, that goes into Feeling, the third song on the album. I don't dislike that song, but it'd be my least favorite song on that album. So like,
really,
yeah. Well, it starts out happy, and then your pain comes out in the middle. I don't really like a lot of happy songs. Like I like which is weird because I'm a pretty happy dude. Like I don't get down. Like I stay pretty happy, but like so the music I like to be angry.
When people meet me, they probably think I'm just an angry or like I'm one of the happiest people ever. But I don't know. We all feel it that way sometimes.
Yeah, but in that song, you do have a line where you say, "Back when my mama got laid off, they said, Jacob, don't quit your day job." Did your mom actually get laid off? Is that a true story?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got laid off before. It'll fuck your life up.
Yeah, it definitely fucks your life up. I remember her telling me about it. She called me crying and told me what had happened. And, it's kind of just like a thing. Like at that moment, it's like, why are you trying to be a rapper when you could go to college and really help? But it's like, this is what I want to do.
I think you made the right decision. College is good. But
still trying to get there. We're going to get there.
So then in that song, you also do the thing with the vocal effect where it says, and you said, I ain't never felt this way. Like, I really like how that audio effects you do where it's kind of like, you're not really singing, but you're kind of changing your voice a little bit.
And I ain't never felt this way. And I ain't never felt this way. I ain't have to stress today.
And then the sequencing on this album is really good. All the songs kind of play into the next one. Like just even the titles, like from a Here Feeling, you go right from there to Knock It Off. Because like prior to that, you were talking about people being jealous, and then now Knock It Off, you're like, it's like you're going at them. So like it seems like you really pay attention to how the songs are ordered. Like I don't like it when people kind of just slap shit in there and like it doesn't like they're really paying attention to the song. Like do you actually sit down and think about that? You're like, we want this one first, this one to be second.
Yeah, all the time. Me and my team definitely construct it in a way like that every time. And this next one's going to be the same way, but just way better.
So Knock It Off, that's the fourth song on the album. That's one you said was popping a little bit before the actual show came out. And then it's one of your most popular songs now. It's tons of great lines. I thought it was a diss song, but apparently you said it was kind of just at anyone, essentially. But yeah, tons of great lines. Call me when you can shower with your chains on. I thought that was great.
Get the money, get your fame on. Cause the money gonna be there when the fame gone. Go play, you can go and get your lame on. Call me when you can shower with your chains on.
I guess it does sound like a diss song now that I think about it. I never really kind of thought of it in that way, but yeah, it could definitely look at as it's like direct. But I'm really just talking to everybody because there's a lot of people who flashing fake gold. A lot of people are just trying to put on a front. That's really what that was about.
That's the same one with the 400 on the gram. Don't ever post his name.
Damn, posted 400 on the gram. Don't ever post money if it ain't even a band. Swear you about that life till you caught up in that jam. Threw you in that box and you folded on your mans. Damn.
The word don't, it sounds like a DJ's kind of mixing it. Like the word don't comes in like either double or triple in there. Like
yeah, that's all my engineer, man. Could be going crazy.
It sounds cool. Yeah. It's like, so do you try that both ways, like a regular way, and then like with that way, and then you go back and listen to it to see which one you like better?
Yeah, it's always first going to be regular. And then, like I said, we just get creative. He tries stuff or I tell him to try stuff, and whatever we like, we keep. Whatever we don't, we go back to the original. But we're not scared to experiment or try things.
So that it works most of the time. I mean, like, and then so She Won't Ever Leave is the fifth song. Like I said, that's probably my second favorite song of yours. Either that, or at least from this album, definitely my second favorite song. I love this song. There's lots of vocal effects, like an auto-tune type sound. I don't know what we really call it. So do you go into the song thinking you're going to do that, or is it after you make it, you're like, let's try it this way?
What She Won't Ever Leave was a little different. I made that song like 30 minutes freestyling. I just told him to pull a beat up, and I was like, put some auto-tune on my voice, and I just started rapping. And that's what came out. Yeah, I freestyled that whole song. That's
another one where, Lemonade's, I guess, part of the lexicon at this point, but you make a reference to her listening to Lemonade, which is, obviously a reference to other music. But I mean, that one's pretty common. But
I walk in the place, no one's bitch is safe. I fuck up, she bump lemonade, and everything is straight. Left the state, I got different tastes. Is that your bae? I think I seen her face. Wait, that's your first. I come from the dirt. It's only right that I fuck bitches who come from the birds. I put my life into a verse. I pray it work. She keeps saying I'm the worst. Oh, I'm the worst.
And then You is the sixth song. Again, I thought it was great how it sequenced. It's kind of funny how it sequenced into you're saying She Won't Ever Leave, because you're basically talking about cheating on a girl, and then you go right into You, where you're talking about how in love you are.
Yeah, thanks. That's funny.
Also a really good song. It's not really my type of song. Like normally I'm not really super crazy about love songs, but I really like this one. It has a nice chill vibe to it. Again, still probably part of hip hop lexicon, but Half on a Baby, you use that. That's an R. Kelly song from probably before your time as well. Is that about a real person, or is that just like
yeah, it was written for a real person at the time. Mm-hmm.
How's that go? Do you tell them like, hey, I made this for you?
I did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I assume that goes over like gangbusters, right? You gotta be like, I gotta feel pretty good when they get that made about them.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely get out of jail free card.
And then the last song on that is one verse. The seventh song. I know you talk about the number 7. You call your 7th university, right? So was that by design? You left 7 songs?
Yeah, 7. I'm a real spiritual person, and 7 is like God's number in the Bible, and so I try to do a lot of things in 7s, and yeah, that's my label's name, 7th University.
And that's your handle on Instagram and Twitter. It's Jakob Campbell 7.
Campbell 7. Yeah, I'm glad you catch the drift, man. We do things in 7s. Pussy check the necklace.
Yeah. That's another song. So one verse, I really like that song as well. And that you've mentioned that all throughout this conversation we've had, and how much that one's really special to you, and you've used that, and it was even you think you might even use that to get on the show. So it's pretty good. That's a solid song, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I just like the build up of it. Starts off kind of slow, and then I start snapping.
So then Who Am I is your next project that comes out. that comes out right around the time of the show. So like the show date on Spotify says October 25th. The show ended on October 23rd. Does Netflix ask you to not put stuff out at a certain time? Or is there any kind of guidance to them about doing music about the show or interviews about the show within that time frame?
Nah, really, if they just ask, like, if we do any interviews or anything, basically we don't reveal like anything that hasn't been shown, pretty much. Because I did an interview here on the radio here in Denver before I even lost in the battle, and I just can't just like say what happened, you know. But yeah, as far as music, they didn't really care what we was putting out, unless I was like, I got fucking robbed.
So, and this was only 4 songs. Were these 4 songs made after the other 7, or was it all kind of mixed together and you just separated them by design?
4 actually was made all in one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and well, actually I made 5 that day. These 4 just stood out and was like, let's just put them out. It works with the show as far as what I'm talking about, and I wrote them probably like August, September, and then recorded them, and yeah, we just thought it was a good look. I think they all go together very well.
All 4 are solid. You made a little teaser video for YouTube where you're doing a voiceover and you show a bunch of old pictures. So that was interesting to see. And then you have a clip of you on the Chicago radio interview. I don't know that channel. I'm not from Chicago, so I assume that's a big deal for you to be on there, right? Were you familiar with that channel before they had you on, or?
No, that's the biggest radio station in Chicago, though. So yeah, it was dope when I went out there and did that interview, and they play my music. So super fire.
So I really like these 4 songs. I do not like the album cover. I thought that was as much as I liked the other one. I gravitated towards the other one before the album cover. I kind of delayed listening to this one because I didn't like this album cover. But then the songs are fire. But like the album cover, I thought I wasn't.
I made it myself.
No.
So. But maybe I can, it's all good, man. I feel you though. It's not the most creative. But I just, to me, it's just a question like, who am I? I kind of just.
I like the name. I like the thing, but I'm big on visuals. So I like even when I make YouTube videos, it's hard trying to make thumbnails and shit like that. It's always interesting to see what was in someone's mind when they made that, or like how they think about it. And like, especially like I was younger, we got tapes and CDs, album covers were a big deal. Then you had to really put some effort. Like that could get your CD picked up before someone else if they had a proper album cover.
For sure.
So the first song on this one is "Live in This Moment," and there's a video for that. The thumbnail for that video is just the image of you from Rhythm and Flow. Do you have to ask permission before you use those kind of images or anything like that, or you just stick it in there?
We was able to just use.
And then that's one where you say, "My radio never played me," so I assume that's talking about Denver.
Yeah, that was about Denver. Yeah, and the video was when we went on tour after the show, so that was what that video was. Just like clips of when we was on the road.
And this is the one where you have the line, "I put my mom on TV, you can't tell me shit."
My mom on the TV, you can't tell me shit. And in a year I'm about to make us rich. Now I ain't seen no star, and I ain't make no wish. I pray to God and I work hardest.
Which is a great line, of course.
You ain't telling me shit, man, at all.
And then I've heard you reference this in other interviews, but it's the most baller line where you say, "When we Netflix and chill, we watch me now."
When I blow, I had to dodge 3 X's in a row. I caught the first girl I know on my speed out. Cause when we Netflix and chill, we watch me now. I would see now, happy that I could see now. Everything happens for a reason, I believe now.
That's the hardest flex, man.
Yeah. So this one you said, "I took meetings with labels trying to get seats at the table. I was trying to get ahead of it. Then I realized I'd rather be the head of it."
I took meetings with labels trying to get seats at the table. Yeah, I was trying to get ahead of it. And then I realized that I'd rather be the head of it.
I heard you say that you wanted to have your own label. But you did see, so you actually met with record labels before the show come out?
Yeah, I have met with a few labels before the show came out and a few after. But I mean, I'm just on my own journey. If it don't feel right, it don't feel right. So I'm not opposed to it, but it just gotta be right,
This song's full of great lines. That's the Andre voice line you talked about earlier, which is great. In the video, there's a montage. You show a good looking Jeep. I drive a Jeep. So that's good. We like that.
Oh yeah, that's Vinny's.
You say, "I'm mixing pain with the temper. I get to snapping like a sinner." That's a creative line, and that's what like I said earlier. It feels like you're angry and it's kind of sad at the same time. So like it's a great description of your sound. And a really great line, you say, "You're more penny proud than penny wise. You're still a clown, though." Like that's a fantastic line, right? So.
The hardest line. More penny proud. You're more penny proud than penny wise. Still a clown, though. Just with a brown nose.
And all you rappers live a lie. You swear you put in fear, but I can see it in your eyes. You more penny proud than penny wise. You still a clown, no. note, just with a brown nose.
And then the second song is Pain to Champagne. Like I said before, you said that was your favorite song. It's neck and neck with Wait for My Time for me. It's a fantastic song. I like the title's creative. You have references like Never Came Off Like Sway's hat. So again, that's Sway, I think it's still popular, but like he's been around for a long time, wearing that hat for a long time, right? Mm-hmm. You say I don't drink, but they do. So you don't drink at all?
No, I don't. I don't drink or smoke.
That's good. So smoke is definitely terrible. Like,
and I'm not. It's not like I'm just fully against it. It's just not me. It's not who I am. Like I said, all my friends do it. I ain't mad at them. I don't judge nobody.
No, it's good. I mean, certainly smoking's terrible for you. So I'm in Kentucky. We drink a lot of bourbon here, but it's certainly good to not do such things. All right. And of course, this is that one that has the best part. It's just incredible. On Twitter, I mentioned just the part about winning about Michael Jordan and Pippen, but it starts even before that. We say underground like an ostrich. I had coal in my stocking. I can hear my mother sobbing. 3 jobs. Exhausted, I'm hating it, watching it, and then you kick right into that winning cadence, and it's just like 30 seconds straight of it's incredible. So
much like Jordan Pippen.
Yeah. Yeah, that is fantastic.
Now I'm popping underground just like an ostrich. I had coal inside my stocking. I can hear my mother sobbing. 3 jobs, so exhausted, and I'm hating what I'm watching. That's the day I started plotting. Now I'm winning. Me and my like Jordan Pippen. I'm a scorer, he assistant. They just found out that I'm different. I raised the bar like I was lifting. I'ma travel like I'm slipping, and I cannot keep a pivot. Every single song is hidden. Guarantee that I ain't missing. Now my trigger finger itching. I don't see no competition, cause you rapped it, but I lived it. I thank God for this position. Girls dancing like a vixen. Champagne tops is what I'm twisting till they poppin'. Bitch, I did it. Ain't been the same. My whole life been changed.
Yeah.
And then Who Would Have Thought? It's the third song on the album. That one has great choruses, and it's a great line as well. Pop's hit an 8-ball, but he's not a pull stick. He ain't a full stick. I thought that was a great line.
People slept on that line. That's fire.
Tip on my shoulder, I'm ruthless. Pass to the 8-ball, he ain't a pool stick. You ain't seen what I seen, you ain't been where I've been. You ain't live what I live, you won't give what I give. Ain't no food in the fridge, now we packing it up. Say that he packing a lunch. Remember them days, and only one day, me and my mom trying to pack up our stuff. Back from the dead, bitch, I came out of the mud. Remember you laughing at us, now I'm like, what? You ain't think I could rap? Famous bitch all in my lap. Taking my brother right out of the trap. He cannot tie, so he using the strap. You ain't get that. We refuse to be lashed. Who would've thought I put us on the map? Nobody.
And then that's when you have the Keith Sweat reference. You said, who would have thought it put us on the map? Nobody, like Keith Sweat voice, which is
nobody.
I'm surprised you even know Keith Sweat. Like, I love Keith Sweat, but like that.
That's what everybody be saying. Like I said, I just like classic stuff, man.
And then the last song that the EP is Who Am I, which is a great song. It really tells a story. It's a ton of quotable lines. Right from the get-go, before even like a chorus at all. You say, flashback, my whole wardrobe in a backpack. Jealous of my peers, what they rocking, I can't have that.
My whole wardrobe in a backpack. Jealous of my peers, what they rocking, I can't have that. This ain't for no clothes, from my mama, I'ma stack cash. But it's okay, one day I'ma have the last.
That's a great line. It's a painful line. Like maybe anyone's ever been broke before, it's fucking brutal. Like there's nothing worse than being broke.
Exactly, man. It's just, especially as a kid, you wonder like
you don't understand money back then, and like
exactly. So you just like, why does someone have it and I don't? You eventually learn.
Then the barbershop guys mentioned this as well. They like the line, "Mama throwing pots and pans, pops is throwing hands. Another night I won't sleep again."
Mama throwing pots and pans, pops is throwing hands. Another night that I won't sleep again. Who I can't wait until we meet again. You about to feel all of this pain that I've been keeping in. Just for revenge, I might make your body leave again.
That's obviously a painful memory, I'm sure. So you say your dad, he never came back or hit you up or anything after you're on the show, or does he even know that you're?
Yeah, I mean, he hits me up from time to time. I don't know. I mean, we don't have a relationship. I love my mom more than anything in the world, so it's hard to salvage something with a person who hurt her.
Yeah, I would imagine. And then still in the same song, more great lines. I love this line, but I wonder how that reacted afterwards. You said my girl's parents used to wonder what she sees in him. Now that I'm close, they're supporting me.
My girl's parents used to wonder what she see in him. Now that I'm close, they supporting, trying to see me win. They flip-floppy, wish-washy, wrist-rocky, playing ice hockey. Bitch, you can't stop me. I work hard for this, I start for this. Never been no college kid, never got no scholarship. I just chose to rap and put my all in it. One life delivered scarlet.
Hey man, it's facts, man. Yeah, at the time I was with a girl who parents used to tell her all the time, like, basically I'm heading nowhere, whatever. But once I got on the show, they were my biggest fans.
Do they know you put them in a song?
I think so. Yeah, they probably hate it. But I think by the time this had released, I broke up with her.
Oh, I see. Okay, because Eminem talks about that on one of his second album. He talks about he's finally welcoming his girlfriend's house. I always wonder how that goes down when you
Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy to see just how the narrative changes. You know, everybody says it's not possible. I can't do it. Always down in me for following my dreams. Especially like even her parents used to be like, you know, why are you not in school? This and that. The first time I met them, they would say that. You know, no father of a daughter wants to. What do you do for what do you do for your job? Oh, I'm a rapper. Like they don't want to hear that.
You say I fought my whole life. Your first fight was staying relevant. I thought that was a good plan.
Yeah, tough, man.
And then this is spot on with how the show portrayed you in the hotel. You said, I'm so secluded. I put my life into the music because this shit's therapeutic. So like in the hotel scenes, everybody was talking, having a good time, and you're just in the hotel by yourself working on your shit.
Yeah. And like I said from earlier, like, you know, I wouldn't say I'm introverted at all. Like I'm definitely outgoing, but definitely when it comes to music, I just, you know, I like to be by myself and to myself. Like I said, I'm trying to branch out and work with more people, but I just feel like a lot of people don't work as hard as me, and I don't want to work with someone who's not working as hard as me.
Yeah, you said that in one of the interviews, that it's also weird if you start to work with someone and then you find out you're not meshing very well. So like that.
Exactly. I gotta really like you as a person before definitely gotta like you as a rapper, and then to work with you, it's definitely gotta be a connection, because if not, it's just not going to sound genuine.
And then another great line from that one is you say, ex bitches say I'm toxic. I think I'm just honest. She says I'm a joke, but I think I'm a comic.
Ex bitches say I'm toxic. Well, I just think I'm honest. She say that I'm a joke. Well, I think I'm a comic. The struggle made me quiet. Music got me back talking. You don't want to talk about past. Go be the big boy with 3 stacks. I'd rather be the outcast.
So I like that line a lot.
That's funny, man. That's facts. You gotta look at it the right way. You gotta spin everything, man. She said I'm a joke. I'm a comic.
So after that project, you just have a bunch of random singles and features of other folks. Do you have a bunch of shit stockpiled currently that you haven't released?
Yes. A lot of stuff. Definitely just been working. I got a ton of music. Just trying to figure out the best way to put it out. I don't want my music to fall on deaf ears, you know, because I really feel like it deserves to be heard. So honestly, I probably overthink a lot when it comes to releasing, but I'm trying to do better at that as well, and just feed my fans instead of just thinking.
Yeah. So how do you decide, like, because you had a handful of singles come out in between, you know, that and like you said, you're building up for an album in January. How do you decide, I made this song, I'm going to make it a single now? Or how do you decide I'm going to hold on to it and see what, you know, stay before the proper album?
I mean, it's a hard thing. Really, I just create, and when the moment's right, I feel like it'll present itself. It's really just off of a feeling thing. That's really just how I move. Just off of feeling and like my gut, what I feel like should go out, what I feel like I should wait, or what deserves to be.
That makes sense. And then after that, so the first feature would be you and Inkle and IV, a song called Make That. Now there's YouTube clips of you hanging out. He's in the barbershop cypher, so seems like you're kind of friendly with him.
Yeah, that's my guy. I had a show out in LA, and then he came out, supported. You know, I appreciate it for real. After that, we went to the studio. We got like 3 other songs too, and I fuck with IV, man. He's a good person, man. So I wasn't the biggest fan of the Make That song. Our other ones are way better. But
I would say that's my least favorite of your collaboration. I still like it, but like it's kind of of your collaboration songs. That's probably I would put that at the bottom of the list ones. But I still listen. It's not like I skip it when it comes on, but like it's
for sure.
He's one that had a good story on Rhythm and Flow. Like his story seemed pretty endearing as well. But he did cry too much, so.
No, I fuck with him. Yeah, he be in Denver a lot, so I see him a good amount.
All right, and then Blessed Up, of course, that's your biggest song that came out in January 2020. It's a great video. Who makes that video? Is that your people? Is that his people, or is it collaboration? Because it's really well done. It looks good. I mean, it's all that barbershop place. I assume they're involved with it, but like, I mean, it looks pretty good.
So yeah, that was my people. That was actually my engineer or my music. He shoots videos as well. He shot that one.
It comes off really well. I like the effect where the video shakes when the bass hits. Like that's pretty cool. A little effect they put in there. And like it's just a good, it's a fun video. It's a good song.
Yeah, it was definitely fun shooting. I bet you could tell we was doing our little dance. Yeah.
One Day, you also have a video for that one. According to YouTube, it came out March 20th, 2020. So that's probably that before coronavirus really kicked in.
Literally.
It's a good song, has a good video. The video is really well done. I showed that one to my wife and I told her I was going to interview you. And like, she didn't watch the show at all. So, but she liked that song.
I think that one was super dope. Had a storyline to it. One of my first videos ever, like putting together a storyline. I wrote it with the people who shot the video, and I think it came out super fire.
That's the same name of the people that were supposed to be working on the video that you said from Instagram, right? So like,
yeah, they working on the next one that I had actors for. Yeah, they do all my story stuff. Dreamer's Day.
Is that about the same girl from You? Is that the breakup?
Oh yeah, it actually is. Wow. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
It's about the same girl from You, and that is the when we split up.
The next would be Ball with D.N.A. Picasso from April 2020. I like that song. It's a good song. And then Living Great is a solo song from August 2020. That's a great song, great beat, good chorus. I like the album cover. It's No Limit style. That's pretty funny. I don't know if that's what your design was.
Yes, that was exactly what I was going for.
Yeah, I like it. It makes me laugh when I see it. And then Amen has a really good album cover as well. It's like you performing with the word Amen on top of it. It's a good song, good little cover. You have a great line. That's good. And a great line. You have a great line. You say, at my first show, I couldn't sell 5 tickets. My last show sold out. You can't buy tickets.
Big facts. That's all true. Literally.
And you have another great line that you said, when your money don't stretch, you ain't got time to kick it. And this goes back to that, if you don't have money, you're so stressed out, you can't have a good time if you're just drowning in debt, or either you don't have money to pay for your bills. The next one will be Band. That was September 2020. That's a really good album cover, Run DMC kind of style there. And that's probably my favorite album cover of the album covers.
Really? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
simple, but it's really cool looking.
Yeah, it's because those Jordans, the Jordan ones that were put on, that's what it matched with the band. They banned Michael Jordan from wearing those.
Oh, that's the reference. I didn't understand the reference there. So like, yeah, let's see. That one, you had a line, 16 so good, R. Kelly wants a feature, which is very funny.
That's a tough one.
And then Floatin', which you said was your favorite song currently. I really don't like the slow songs usually, so it's still a good song. I think it will do well. It's probably, I do like when you say music's fire, I ain't blown, getting frustrated. I like that, realism, how you can tell that your shit's dope. And it's just knowing that it hasn't gone to that next level yet. So, it's a strong song. The last two would be Big Dog with Sam. Came out October 20. You had a crisscross reference again in there, which, I like that, of course.
Your toe when you kick rocks, you can see her ass from the front. Crisscross, we about to lip lock till my dick stand up like Chris Rock.
Sam's, like I said, he's just going nuts over the pandemic. He's just putting out so much shit.
Yeah, bro, he's going crazy.
Do you talk to Sam a lot, or like, would you call yourself friends, or is it just you kind of interact just occasionally?
I would definitely say we're friends for sure. We talk a good amount actually. That's family for sure.
Do you listen to Sam's music?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have a favorite Sam song?
Oh no, I really like. I probably am different from the majority, but I be liking when he sings.
He has a song called Stereo. That's the first song I heard after, and like, when Spotify does it in the year and like shows your most listened to song, Stereo is probably gonna be one of my most listened to songs. Like, I fucking love that song. Yeah,
that's dope. That song is fire. I do fuck with Sam. He's definitely hard. I forgot what song it was, but he has a video for it. He has a grill in. I like that song.
Yeah. There's probably one of those. There's but he has a new one called Live from Detroit. That's really good. He's kind of a different style there.
He did a remix to that Mike Jones song, and that shit was fun.
Yeah. All right, and then the last one that you didn't even know was out was 100 Flock. That's the song with Trev Rich and I'm in S, I guess. I don't like that chorus. The verses are really good. Your verse is really strong on there. It's one of your best guest appearances. Really.
This is on Spotify?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that was out, honestly. I'm going to have to call Trev.
Yeah. You should listen to your verse because it's great.
I do know the song. I was just like, when you were like, when you said the name, because I'm like, nobody has heard about that song. I didn't think so, at least.
Yeah, just said it came out in October, so it's relatively new still, I guess. So then you think you're going to have a song out next Friday? That'll be your next plan, like?
Friday, top 2 dropping next Friday. Video with it, too.
Yeah, video. You'll be on Spotify, YouTube, all the whole shebang.
On all platforms, yeah. It's going to be very dope, man. I think you'll like it. It's definitely a banger.
I'll be checking it out day one.
Yes, sir.
That concludes all of our tour of Jakob's songs. It's a strong, you're still young. You're still not a huge catalog, but I think what you have is very, very strong. I highly recommend people check it out. I think you're great in interviews. I think you should do more interviews. Like you're very responsive. I like, especially with the other guys that you kind of know, I guess you ask them questions. Like with the barbershop guy, you asked them if they were inspired by the HBO show. And then you asked the Mile High Minute, you are talking about how they didn't include you in your top 20s or top 10s.
Yeah, that's one thing about me, man. I'm not scared to say what's on my mind. Like,
so I don't know Denver rappers, but I can't imagine they would make a top 10 list that you wouldn't be in the top of it. So, I mean,
man, let me stop. I agree. We have a lot of talent out here, though. I'm not gonna lie. Denver is definitely. You speak
very highly of it in all the interviews, so I would be interested in checking some out. And I have seen a couple of the barbershop videos. A lot of them are pretty good.
There's definitely an untapped market. Definitely a lot of talent out of here, though. I would never not say that for sure. I think we could compete with any city. I could stand on that.
So next week's Thanksgiving, you got big Thanksgiving plans?
I know. Now with COVID, man, I'm probably gonna be with my mom and my brother.
Else. I saw some of those barbershop videos. You're not wearing masks. You're all hanging out. You're all playing basketball.
Oh my God. I got tested. I recently went to Puerto Rico and I had to get tested and I was negative. So
go up the nose hole, shows bang?
Yeah, it hurt. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was thinking it was gonna be way worse. I was like hyping myself up, so by the time I got it, I'm like, oh, it's not that bad.
I don't like shit in my nose, so I probably would not like it. So
it made my eyes water. They definitely go super far.
But yeah, I mean that's going to conclude what we have. So I really appreciate you taking the time. I know we went long. You entertained all my questions. You didn't know me. You didn't have to take time to talk to me, but I really enjoyed it, and you came off really well. And
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to what you have.
And I appreciate you really listening to the music. Because I go into a lot of interviews sometimes, and they don't really listen to the music.
Well, that's part of why, I reach out. Like I make, it's not my real job for YouTube, but I make these videos because I always watch YouTube videos and people make a video on something and they just don't cover shit. Or I see these interviews and people talk at surface level and I really want to dive into it and figure out what's going on. Right? I'm watching TV and I'm hearing people talk. I'm like, why don't you ask them this?
I appreciate it. No, for real. I've been in a lot of interviews. They don't take it deep into my music. They just want to hear about Cardi B.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to whatever you need to do. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit with me. I look forward to the music you have coming out, and we'll look forward to new music. And I encourage anyone watching this to check out as many songs as you can because they're pretty great.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me up here, man. You have a blessed day.
All right. Thanks.